Welcome everybody. I'm Ian,
I'm Rich.
and we're a couple of Canuckleheads just talking sports.
What's going on, sports fans? So, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about analytics?
I
I know we're a couple of old heads, if you
yeah,
haven't noticed, but
we're a couple of old timers, but yeah, that analytics to me started to take some of the fun out of the game. You know, when I was watching baseball, when I'm watching, I guess when I'm watching hockey, although I don't really know how it applies to hockey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think analytics, they just concentrate too much on, especially in baseball, buying hits rather than, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That might be old school
yeah,
analytics.
you're talking about the beginning of analytics with Billy
Moneyball,
Bean and
yeah,
Moneyball,
Moneyball.
and all that, which I always make the point whenever people talk about Moneyball and how effective it was and all that stuff. Go back and do a little research. The Oakland A's never won anything.
Yeah,
They found out a way to be competitive
Right.
and to keep costs down in terms of the roster and things like that. But they never actually, in the Moneyball era,
one
they
inning.
never actually won anything.
Right.
So yeah, but that and they really are the sort of at the forefront of modern day analytics.
Well, and that's the thing, because it started with a team that didn't have a lot of money in the first place.
Yeah.
But you add that to a team that has a bigger budget, and they're able to get bigger players that can get more runs
Well,
and
I mean,
can, you know.
What happened, I think, more than anything, is that it's evolved when you talk about teams that have more money
Right.
and with technology and everything and how you can like fine tune stuff and track things down to the. I mean, that was still the old Billy Bean Moneyball. Still, for the most part, had to do with a lot of it had to do with the eye test to some degree and certain things. But now, when the high tech analytics is where it's getting really crazy. So, like, for instance, if you want to apply it to hockey, you wouldn't think it's so applicable to hockey necessarily in a lot of ways, but the way that they track things and the way that they look at the percentages of success, like, for instance, like the difference now when you see a lot of teams not shooting
Right.
as much as they used to. I know we watch hockey games,
Yeah.
and all we're doing is we're looking at the screen going shoot, shoot, shoot,
the damn
shoot,
puck.
shoot,
Yeah.
and you think like, why aren't they shooting at all these
Yeah.
traditional positions that you would think are you know what you would typically have called, you know, like the high slot or from the dot,
Yeah.
where that would be good, you know, high danger scoring areas, which again is a new analytics term.
Sorry.
But what they've done is they look at, you know, the success rates from all these different places, and they look at how goalies move and all that stuff. So for instance, you know, you look at the Oilers, they're always setting up for that Draisaitl shot from the red line, which looks like
Yeah.
the lowest percentage thing
Yeah.
that you want to take
Yeah.
in terms of getting a good shot at the goalie. But they analyze, you know, his release point, how accurate he is.
Yeah.
They'll be analyzing
Yeah.
goalie movement, so the movement from side to side, the lateral movement of the goalie, how fast they're moving, how they're reacting, all of those things they're trying to set up to get the best opportunity to get the goalie on the move,
Right.
and that way you're going to beat him. And so if it's, you know, if they look at it and the analytics say, you know, on a small sample size, the success rate is 6 out of 10,
Right.
they're thinking, okay, you're gonna have success that many times if you work it to that spot as opposed to the other spots. And I think what that does for me is it takes away the feel of the game,
Right.
and that instinct, because it becomes
Right.
so robotic
Yeah.
that these guys, it's clear to you and me that every time they're looking to get the goalie moving from his right to his left,
Yeah.
and they're just trying to get it down to that spot faster so that they have a chance to beat him.
You know what's really interesting too is that, especially when we're talking hockey, they changed the game to allow finesse players more room to do what they do. And
Sure.
and analytics have kind of changed that in a way.
Puts it in a box a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
It does, because now it's like, well, this is what he can do. Let's have him do it 10 out of 10 times, and we're going to get
his success
he's going
rate's
to
gonna
hit
be-
the net at least 6 out of those 10 times based on his skill level,
Yeah.
the skill level of the goalie, the defense.
And if
the
we
whole
move it
bit.
around enough, fast enough, and we catch the goalie,
Yeah.
you know, like moving a little slow. This goalie moves from his right to his left,
Yeah.
and 2.6 seconds, as opposed to if he's coming, if he gets a push off to move forward,
Yep.
taking away the angle, all that stuff is so fine tuned.
Yeah,
that
that's-
it's almost robotic in terms of what you're trying to do. And I know these guys
True.
process things at an incredible
Oh,
rate
yeah.
in terms of
Yeah.
that the what's going on the ice and stuff. But as a fan, you're watching and like I know that they're trying to work it down to Draisaitl in the corner.
Sure.
Everybody in the arena knows.
Yeah.
The goalie knows,
Yeah.
and you know what happens is that they might start cheating that way. So
Yeah.
by the time you get it there, he's anticipating that. So the moment's lost. I look at McDavid, who's a fantastic. You can't even criticize him.
No.
But I'm going to. If it wasn't so clear that 9 out of 10 times he's looking past first. I mean, he's a prolific scorer as it is now.
Yeah.
I think he could. I mean, I don't know if he could get to Gretzky levels because that. And again, there's a player that. I mean, there were analytics,
Sure.
but the instincts on him were
Yeah,
incredible.
incredible.
But if there was a 40% chance that he's looking to shoot first, now the goalie might think twice about cheating over to the
Right.
left
Right.
because he's not so sure that he's going to pass it over there. So it's stuff like that where
Taking it
that
away.
instinct,
Yeah.
that like you're saying, that the creativity is still there. He's still the most incredible creative player, but he's looking for the pass
That's right.
4 times before he's ready to take that shot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then when and analytics have been a part of sports forever when you think about it. But
some way, shape, or
not to
form.
the degree
Yeah,
that it is
they
now,
didn't have the
because we always
technology.
had a specialty teams. We always had penalty killers that
Yeah.
you would rely on. You always had power plays that you would rely on because you knew those players were at a certain level and they had certain skills that helped get more goals when they were on the power play, or they stopped more
Yeah.
goals when on the penalty kill.
Well-
However, they've just ramped it to the point
Yeah.
where, and I like your use of they've taken the creativity out of the game.
Yeah. Well, there have always been systems that teams would play to some degree, but now it's so systems heavy
Yeah.
that it's all about the system. So, okay, that's hockey, but now I think the sport, besides for baseball, which baseball's always had a high element of analytics. So
Yeah.
if you like baseball, you like to analyze things. It's
That's
kind
true.
of part of the nature of the game.
It's all about
that's
the
one of the things.
stats, baby.
Yeah, I'm a stats guy, so I love that's one of the things I love about baseball. But you look at basketball, I'm a basketball fan, but I find it hard to watch now a lot of times because you've got the proclivity to just jack up 3 balls
Yeah.
all day long. Like if you look at stats from like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, there might have been, so there's typically like 75 to 90 shots taken a game.
Yeah.
Back then, you would have found maybe 15, 20 of those shots were 3-pointers.
Right.
Analytics have said, and taken to the nth degree. So it's a little bit more balanced now, I think. Maybe not. But analytics have said, forget the long 2, which I can agree with. But whether you're a good 3-point shooter or a mediocre 3-point shooter, jack up 3s. Because the idea is that it's better to have that percentage of, and how to say this, the percentage of that it goes down in terms of your success rate on hitting a 3. The extra point is worth the value of taking those
Right.
extra shots.
Taking the
So
extra
you're going to miss more,
Yeah.
but when you hit, you're getting an extra point.
Right. So you're going to gain more in the long run.
Yeah. So now you're seeing teams, if they're taking 80 shots a game, 35, sometimes 40. There's some teams like the Celtics that shoot 50% threes in a game. So they're jacking up 40 threes in a game. Now, the difference they're a good shooting team.
Right.
So they can do that and they can win. But if
Yeah.
you're not a good shooting team, what are your chances? And the one that kills me the most is like guys go, they break down a defense, get inside the paint, have a layup right at their fingertips, and they kick it out for a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I understand the percentages of the long 2 or the mid-range versus the 3.
But you're right under the
But
basket.
if you're a gimme 2 or a dunk, why take the chance to kick it out for a 35% shot?
You know why?
Explain it to me.
Analytics, because they've decided that that's a better idea than going for that easy 2, because we just said they'll
Yeah.
get more points in the long run if they kick it out and go for the 3s.
Yeah, see, but the long run might extend beyond the 48 minutes that the game is.
Yeah.
So,
true.
if you don't turn it around
Right.
by the final buzzer,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that goes in the L column.
That's right.
But,
Well,
I don't know. I mean,
and-
baseball.
Yeah, I was going to just talk about baseball because one of the things that I still get, and maybe because I'm old school, I get a little frustrated when I see a pitcher getting to a particular pitch count and they pull him.
Yep.
It drives me a little crazy because it's not like they're playing more games than they did 30 years ago. It's not like they're pitching, that pitching has changed to the point where you have to rest them more than you would normally.
So, again, a product of analytics.
Analytics.
But it's a funny thing, like when you think about it now, and again, unless you're an old head, you're going to have to check this out. So last couple of years or so, there have been in Major League Baseball somewhere around, 30 complete games, pitch by
That's
pitcher.
it?
So for those of you that are
Wow.
not familiar with a complete game, because you haven't seen one very often,
Yeah, no
your
kidding.
starting pitcher goes the distance, finishes the game,
Wow.
win or lose sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Back in, if you got to go back, man, you got to go back at least years. You will find. So I said, like the last couple of years, it's been there've been 30 complete games throughout all of Major League Baseball, meaning that
Right.
maybe one pitcher per team has pitched a perfect game that season,
Right.
maybe, but on average,
A complete game.
a complete game.
Yeah.
You go back to the, let's say randomly, the 80s
Right.
and maybe before.
Right.
You will find pitchers who had 30 starts, which is standard,
Yeah.
and completed. One pitcher complete 20,
Yeah.
22, 24 games.
That's right.
Completed. If you go even further back, there are guys like before the refinement again of relief pitchers and
Yeah.
and specialization and all
Sure.
that stuff. You'd find guys there's at least a couple guys who pitched close to 30 complete games.
Well, and that's analytics, man.
Yeah, well,
Totally analytics.
It's completely analytics, and so really the strategy behind it is that the pitcher's going to fatigue, his quality of his pitches are not going to be as good in later innings. The batter, they don't want a batter to see the starting pitcher more than twice. If he's a really good pitcher, see him 3 times. I can understand all of that, but the thing that it takes away, which is coming back to the game now, mercifully, is that it devalues the eye test.
Yeah.
Managers, players, you got to get a feel for what's going on in the game.
Yeah.
If a pitcher's really dialed in and he's just shoving it,
It's flow, man.
leave him alone.
Flow. Yeah.
Give him a little extra leash.
He's in the flow. Let
Don't
him
worry about the
go.
pitch count so much.
Yeah.
How's the ball coming off the bat? All of that stuff that analytics can give you some insight into, but it doesn't have to dictate rigidly what
Right.
your move is,
Yeah.
because that takes the feel out of the game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it does.
in some sports, it takes some of the creativity, and I know for me, it takes a lot of the enjoyment out of
Yeah,
some of the things when I'm watching.
You have to think about the fans, right? I mean, the fans are the ultimate.
It's all about the fans,
right? They're the ultimate paycheck. They're the ones that are paying the salaries, really. So they should take them into consideration. So that's what we're going to do. What do you guys think of analytics? Have they gone too far? Is it? Are we dialing it back? Should we keep it as it is?
Maybe we're just a couple of crazy old heads.
That's right.
Let us know.
We're a couple of Canuckleheads. Let us know. And don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe. That will really help the channel. Thank you very much for that, for spending time with us. And until next time, keep shooting.
Knock it out of the park.
You're out!